By the end of this video, we're going to create this cool sounding synth using filter mods and a compressor. We're starting with a sawtooth synth in the lower octave, which is playing this simple progression in A minor. This will be layered on top of a kick every quarter beat, and a snare every half beat for some rhythm. To make this loop a lot more interesting, we can sidechain the sawtooth synth using a compressor. Basically, the signal from the kick will be used to compress the synth, so every time the kick hits, the synth will duck out the way for a nice effect. This is done by simply enabling sidechain in the trigger settings, then selecting the kick as an input in the sidechain drop-down menu. For the compression settings, we can start off by making the ratio infinite, basically turning this into a limiter. If you want the synth to completely disappear when the kick hits, then set the threshold really low. Now we're going to create a filter rise on the synth using this EQ plugin. To start off, I'm going to cut off a bit of the low end, as this synth is quite bassy and the kick is already trying to occupy that space. This point is not going to move since it's only for shaping the tone, but we're going to add a second point, then use a mod to make that automatically rise into the higher frequencies. The step sequencer will let us draw out how we want the frequency to change over multiple measures, so it's a good mod to use here. For now, a simple upward slope is fine. We just need to link it to the frequency of the EQ point we just created. Then cycle it every 4 measures, sync to the DAW's tempo. By moving the slider, we can change how strong this mod is. To make the sound even more dynamic, we can further modulate this EQ point with a separate LFO. I find that the sawtooth curve sounds good when set to an 8th note frequency, then sync to the DAW. Again, we'll have to adjust the slider to make it more or less intense. Now there's a ton of ways you could shake this up, like simply changing the frequency of the LFO for a different rhythm, or instead of using an LFO at all, change it to something like an envelope follower. As the synth gets louder, the filter will open up and highlight those upper frequencies. And that's how to create a dancing synth using filter mods and a compressor. Thanks for watching.